Today, on Be Something Wonderful, this will change your manifesting game overnight. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful here in Las Vegas. Big video today. I want to start with a subscriber comment on a video that we released yesterday. And this is the idea that there was a client talking about, Tom, I've been manifesting for months. I've been in my new identity. I've been doing everything that I think is the right thing to do, but nothing has changed, right? And the video was about, it means that you haven't changed, right? Nothing can change until you do. And we're talking about the idea of your old story versus your new story. Old identity versus your new identity, and what story are you telling? And this subscriber said this on this video: I finally get it. It is not us trying to hold on to our new story when nothing has changed. Rather, it is our old story trying to hold on to us when we have already changed. And I get what you're saying here, and that's a fun way to look at it, but it's not quite right. Here's really what I want to say. It's if your old story is trying to hold on to you, then you haven't changed. Do you see it? Your stories have no preference. You exist in all stories, all realities. Those stories don't do anything, right? Your old story does nothing. It means nothing. You give it meaning by holding on to it, right? It's about you not releasing the old story. Do you see it? You're in all stories. You're in all realities. You're in all possibilities. So it's about you releasing the ones that are no longer your preference. You don't have to hold on to anything because you're already all that is. So it's really about releasing that which that does not represent your highest desire now. Right? The old story in reality, so it's about you not releasing that old story in reality, meaning you haven't changed. Do you see it? That's what that means. If that old story is holding on to you or trying to hold on to you, which it doesn't because it doesn't do anything, that's you not releasing the old story or reality, meaning that you haven't changed. So you haven't changed here. Right? If you have changed, it's impossible for your old story to try anything. Right? Your old story doesn't exist anymore. Do you see it? If you've changed, it doesn't exist within your reality. It's still a potential, but it's not your reality anymore. It's you holding on to the old story and reality, and that's why nothing has changed. Do you see it? You haven't released that old story. That's what detachment means. You exist in all stories. You exist in all realities. So you don't need to try to hold on to anything. Rather, just release what's no longer your preference. Right? Like in Scripture, I've talked about the story where Pontius Pilate had Jesus during Passover. They had a tradition of releasing one prisoner. And it was Jesus, the King of Kings, Jesus of Nazareth, or Barabbas, the robber. And he asked the crowd, who do you want to release? And they screamed Barabbas. Remember, Barabbas are those old realities that you no longer want to, that no longer represent you, that you want to release. Release Barabbas, release the old reality. Because remember, it says in Scripture that Barabbas was a robber. So that old story robs you of that new story, that new identity that you choose now. So release that. We're going to talk about this idea, but that's what the detachment means. So it's not quite that. I know that's a fun way of saying it, but that gives the impression that there's some power holding on to you, that story has power without you, and it has no power. Right? You would have no power and authority unless it was given from above, unless you're giving it power. So nothing can hold on to you if you've already changed. You've already changed. So, well, I just wanted to hit that to make sure you got it. Remember, shift your energy, focus, and attention and awareness from what you assume that you have to think, feel, and do to manifest what you want, and be that which you desire to be, and what you desire to be, and move to the fulfillment of it. Again, shift your energy, focus, and attention awareness from what you assume that you have to think, what you assume that you have to feel, what you assume that you have to do to manifest what you want and be that person you want to be, to the fulfillment of it. Do you see it? We focus on what we have to do to get what we want, what we have to do to be who we desire to be, what we have to think and feel to have and be who we want to be. Instead of that, put all your energy and focus and attention on the fulfillment of it. Do you see it? We're always trying to cope with and resolve negative thoughts and feelings and beliefs, or what we judge as negative thoughts and feelings. Instead, move to your imagined end, into your imagined outcome. Put all your energy, focus, and awareness on that, to being that which you desire to be already. In other words, acknowledge and accept the changing inner and outer conditions and appearances, and then move or shift back to your imagined end. Don't try to cope with them. Don't try to resolve them, what you consider negative thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Instead, accept them, acknowledge them as one quantum possibility, and then allow them, release them back into the field of infinite possibilities. Allow them to be integrated back into the field of all possibilities. They're no longer your choice. Set them free. Release them. That's what acknowledgement and acceptance does. It releases them, where you're now free to be that new identity, that new reality, that new choice, right? So accept and acknowledge those changing appearances, those changing conditions that you view as negative. Then shift back to your imagined end. This releases them and sets them free. That's powerful. Let's continue with this. The negative thoughts, feelings, and beliefs of fear and doubt are the thieves and robbers of Scripture, that Scripture talks about, that rob you of your absolute and complete fulfillment now. They rob you of your awareness of already being that identity and reality that you desire to be. Your acknowledgement and acceptance, though, releases them and sets them free to return to and reintegrate into that field of infinite potential, into the quantum field of all possibilities. You acknowledge their possibility. You accept them as a possibility, and then you release them. And when you do this, you're denying them power over you. They do not have power and authority. That's the proper use of denial. Release Barabbas, as it says in Scripture. Right? When Pontius Pilate asked the crowd, is it Jesus of Nazareth or Barabbas, the robber? And the crowd says, not this man, meaning Jesus of Nazareth, your I am, your awareness of already being that person you want to be. Don't release that. Don't release your awareness of already being that identity. Don't release that new identity, but Barabbas, the robber. And it even says in Scripture now, Barabbas was a robber in John 18:40. Deliberately, they say now Barabbas was a robber. Yes, the negative conditions, the old identity is a robber, robs you of that new state unless you release it. Release Barabbas and hold on to that awareness of already being that person you desire to be. Your awareness of I am, of already being that which you desire to be. That's powerful. Stop making your changing thoughts, feelings, and conditions, hear this, a condition to accepting fulfillment and that you are already that which you desire to be right now. We're making it conditional, right? Stop making the changing thoughts, feelings, and conditions a condition, meaning that you have to resolve them or cope with them or deal with them, to accept and fulfillment right now, no matter what those appearances are. Love, fulfillment, and already being and having that which you want to be and have is natural. It's your true nature. That's what I am means. It's your name or nature. It doesn't require you to hold on to it or even believe in it. It is the truth of who you are, whether you believe it or not. So what are we really doing? We're letting go of disbelief, because the belief is already there. I am is absolute faith and belief as all that is. All is that awareness. All you have to do is release the disbelief. Release Barabbas, right? Stop trying to cope with it or resolve it or fix that disbelief and release it. Because you already are there. The belief's already there. Acknowledge them. Accept them as one quantum possibility and release them back into that quantum field of all possibilities. Wow, that's powerful today. In Matthew 7:18, Jesus, your I am awareness, cast out the demon of a child, and it would said in Scripture that Jesus healed the child in that very moment. Again, the instantaneity of reality, the simultaneity of reality. Healing it at that moment means he was always healed. He shifted to the reality where that boy was already healed. His disciples ask him, why could we not cast it out? And Jesus answers, because of your unbelief. What does unbelief mean in Scripture, in the Bible? It means the refusal to believe in God or your I am or his word. That's what unbelief means. For your refusal to accept that you're already that person you want to be. That's what that means. You're trying to deal with or cope and resolve negative thoughts and feelings and beliefs versus simply denying them power and reality. In other words, deny them by acknowledging and accepting them and releasing them back into that field of infinite possibilities. That's why Neville says it here. I love this. So why could we not cast them out? The disciples asked, the apostles asked Jesus, because of your unbelief. In other words, because of your refusal to believe in God or I am or his word, or your refusal to believe that you're already that person you want to be. That's what unbelief is. Neville Goddard says it here. You're already that which you want to be, and your refusal to believe this is the only reason you do not see it. Wow, that's powerful. There are no conditions to fulfillment in being whole, healed, and complete here and now. Release your unbelief. Release your refusal to believe it. Right? Because of your unbelief, it's right there. That's powerful. Remember, it's the manifesting game, the game of life. The manifesting game isn't about getting what you want or becoming who you desire to be. Hear this. It's the awareness. It's the recognition. It's the acceptance that you already have what you want and you already are that which you desire to be. That's the game. It's not about, you already have it all and are it all. So it's not about getting it or becoming it. It's recognizing that you're already it and put your attention on that. That's powerful. It's about releasing Barabbas. Right, Barabbas? Release that unbelief. Release that old identity, that old reality that's not preferred anymore. Release those judged negative conditions or unbelief to already being and having that which you desire to be and have. Right? Remember, it's not about a good outcome or a bad outcome. All outcomes are everything's good and very good, as God said. It's all within you. It's about imagining and assuming your preferred desired outcome that's already a reality within you. That's the imagination game. That's the manifesting game. That, yes, you can imagine and script and assume. Processes are beautiful. They're fun because they're calling forth one of those potential possibilities that are already within you. You're not creating it. You're calling it forth. You're deciding to experience it. You're making a choice. Right? That's the manifestation game. So, and one of the clients that I talked about briefly in a video, Brooke, she responded to it, and when I posted her comments on the community channel because it was such a beautiful comment the way she explained it. And here's what she says when she used that, wouldn't it be nice, right? That affirmation of wouldn't it be nice. Right, of calling forth her reality. And this is when she manifested her perfect space for her art. And she said it on the channel, she goes, I was in the space I wanted, meaning she was in that space before it was, quote, her space in a physical 3D manifested way. She goes, I was in the space and said to myself, wouldn't it be nice if I had this space for my art? That's it. Right? She totally released any unbelief, totally released any of the robbers that could potentially rob her of that space. Right? Instead of thinking, well, it's impossible. I don't know how it would ever be possible to get this space. It looked impossible. She said, so she goes, asking myself this question immediately led me to seeing my art on the walls in my mind's eye. It immediately moved her to the image of her art already being on the wall. She got the space which seemed almost impossible to get, unbelief. She released Barabbas. This will change your manifesting game overnight. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, the ambassadors at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, our TikTok at Be Something Wonderful, and our membership channel. And don't forget, a week from tomorrow, we have our 11th live event to be broadcast exclusively on the Be Something Wonderful membership channel. And this is going to be at 9 a.m. in the morning, Pacific Coast Standard Time. It's our second live event of the year. And we're going to be answering your questions and addressing topics that you've been sending to us at info@besomethingwonderful.com. So keep sending your questions and your topics. If you're a member, tune in. If you're not a member, tune in. Check it out. There's a link below. Creators, with great love, with great life, and infinite gratitude, this is Tom here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful in Las Vegas. Until next time, we'll see you soon.